VO2 Max is the maximum amount of oxygen your body can use whilst riding.
Yeah, it's the perfect marker for your fitness, and improving it will help you ride harder.
But how can you improve it to help you climb better? In this video, we're going to explain how and also share a few tips.
Oh, should we share them all?
Yeah. But first, we need to find some climbs, mate. Oh, not that fast. VO2 Max is the maximal volume of oxygen your body can uptake whilst riding. Improving it is important because it allows you to rely on your aerobic system for longer as you increase your effort intensity before you dip into your anaerobic system, which is unsustainable. You can only carry this on for a limited amount of time before you need to slow down. Essentially, you'll be increasing the volume of oxygen you can consume and utilize in your body, which is an obvious plus. Just remember though that VO2 Max isn't necessarily a marker of your fitness or level compared to others. Whilst it is good to have a high one, what matters most is your ability to sustain power at your VO2 Max. But still, it's worth improving, and anyone can improve their own VO2 Max, and this will have a beneficial effect on your riding, increasing the amount of blood your heart can pump and how much oxygen your muscles can uptake.
This is all more important when you're riding uphill, fighting the effects of gravity and easily getting into those tougher intensity levels. There are of course other factors involved in helping you climb better, but in this one we are focusing on specifically your VO2 Max and its relationship with your ability to get up climbs.
Away from performance for a second, a low VO2 Max has actually been associated with a high risk of heart disease, and on the flip side, a high VO2 Max has been linked with an increased lifespan.
So it is a worthwhile aspect of your riding to think about and work on. And in terms of what to do on your bike to improve it, there are a few things straight away you can crack on with. Factor in some riding that's close to 90 to 95% of your max heart rate. Doing so will strengthen the muscles around your heart and also increase the volume of blood it can pump with each beat. Getting your heart rate high is always going to be a tough effort, especially if you're new to cycling and just getting used to putting yourself in that hurt locker. But one tip that I would give you is to maybe build your effort into a climb. So keep things steady, pushing on, ramping up through the gears so that you start the climb at a relatively intense level already beginning to suffer somewhat. Something I like to do is keep it at 10 minutes of tempo pace. So that's something just above what you'd find comfortable at when you're trying to hold a conversation. It's hard to talk, a bit like what I'm doing now. Then you start the climb, but you just do 2 or 3 minutes, really pushing your effort on hard, close to your max effort. Remember, when you're training, practicing, taking on a climb, you don't need to do the whole thing from bottom to top. Sometimes it makes more sense to break it down, use that section of the climb for a tough effort, then just put your foot down, take a breath, do it all again.
Intervals are a great way to improve your VO2 Max and your climbing in comparison to the long, steady aerobic efforts. Now, if you're someone that likes riding your climb at one intensity, I suggest you start mixing things up. Something I love to feature in my training is 30 on, 30 off efforts. Now, you might be doing the same duration of effort, but at some points you're gonna go much, much harder. Try 30 seconds at around 130% of your FTP, and then 30 seconds at 50% of your FTP, and repeat for 5 minutes, and work in 3 blocks to your ride to begin with, but increase the volume and repetition when you feel able. Now, if you're not familiar with FTP or you don't work on power, then don't worry, because you can actually do it on feel. What I suggest you do is do a max effort in the saddle, and then when it comes to 30 seconds off, keep the chain tight, but reduce the effort and try and go as easy as you can. This will help you get the recovery.
As you start training, especially if you're beginning from a relatively low fitness, you are going to improve your VO2 Max no matter what you do. You're just going to have to start riding and ride a little bit more, and things are going to start improving naturally. But as you get fitter, it is going to be harder to get those improvements. Fitter riders are always going to find it harder to get bigger jumps in their VO2 max and their climbing ability. But the key for everyone is to stick at it, keep working hard and pushing yourself if you want to get those improvements. Don't fall into a pattern of sticking to the training and efforts you know. You need to keep testing your limits. Increase your volume or ride intensity month by month, and don't let your riding get too easy. For me personally, the best way to keep pushing yourself on the bike is to search for riders who are better than you, who are fitter and stronger, that you can try and hang with and push yourself further on the bike. Another thing that I like to do is try and pencil in 2 or 3 events, rides, maybe even races throughout the year and work towards them. Use them as a goal, maybe make one your ultimate goal, and the other 2 something that you can use as preparation to build up for them. Spread these out throughout the year. That's just really good carrots and also the perfect way to really push yourself on the bike and let the adrenaline flow as well.
Give it time to feel any form of improvement and don't give up too early. It can be tempting when you're doing different types of efforts. If you're actively trying to improve your VO2 max, it's going to hurt some of these sessions, and you need to make sure you have adequate recovery in between these intense sessions. I would limit to 1 or 2 of these sessions per week, or 2 to 3 in a 2-week period. That way you're making them work for you. Right, here's a VO2 max effort. 1, 2, 3, go!
So there you go, a few tips which will help you get up those climbs and improve your VO2 max, which can have quite a big effect on your riding.
Yeah, the great thing about cycling is you can make little improvements which take it a long way to better performance. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget, you know what to do? Hit that thumbs up button.
Oh.